Good morning, everyone. How is everybody? I'm going to turn my phone on silent. So Leslie's here. Good morning, all. Sarah says, morning, just enough time to nab a coffee. Caroline says, morning, just got to let my nails dry. Ooh, what colour did you go for? Elena says, good day, lovely Shan and Peeps. Hello. Diana says, good morning. Good morning. And Nimoy is here. Good morning. So, I have got on, sorry, I'm being texted. And he's doing it on purpose because I've told him I've just gone live, so he's trying to distract me. So I am going to put that to the side and ignore it. Yeah, I said today I am going to try and sort out my gala dinner evening outfit, and that's why I have put this dress on, because I want to make another grace dress. And I have also brought down the new look jacket that I think I want to make over the top of it, because I've actually never tried that on with one of these dresses. Now, obviously, this print and this print do not match, but I'm hoping that you guys will be able to tell me what you think of the silhouette together. Yeah. Catherine says, good morning, just doing my online food order with you shortly. No worries, thank you for joining us. Jojo says, morning all, hope you're all well. Very well, thank you. How are you? Maisie says, hello from Queensland, Australia. Good evening. Nimue says, never apologise for something that makes you smile like that. Yeah. Caroline says, Kiko's dark wine. Ooh, nice. Elena says, will we hear about that in the waffles? So if you guys have noticed, I'm not really talking about dates that go well. I was going to say dates that go well in the waffles, but there's only been one of those in a year. The last ghosting turns out was a catfish. You will hear about that in the waffle. But yeah, once the kind of the stories are dating disaster stories, which I do feel comfortable sharing, because it's kind of like an experience that has a start, middle, and end. But when something goes well, probably won't talk about it very much, because it's going well and it's ongoing. And it'll get to the point, hopefully, where it'll just be like, I've got a new nickname for a boy. But yeah. So Jojo says, ooh, those cheeky boys. I know, right? I know. I mean, I did kind of start it, but yeah. Definitely need to put the phone away. James says, morning peeps, sewing up Maker's Atelier, pull on shirt in rust linen, channeling my inner art teacher vibe. Nice. Elena says, just want to see your extra happy smiles. Yeah, which I really appreciate. And yeah, I'm very happy to talk about it in general, but yeah. Oh, I've got an eyelash that's made a bid for freedom. Come on, eyelashes, behave yourselves. There we go. That's slightly better, I think. Yeah. Michelle says, good morning, peeps. Finally caught a live chat again. It's been a few weeks. Nice to see you, Michelle. You have been missed. Erica says, hi everyone from sunny northern Sweden, where the sun is shining and the snow is melting. Spring is coming. Nice. Susan says, hi all, hope you are all better, Shan. I still have lurgy. I have taken some lurgy meds just before coming on, so that like I'm dried up and not like Yeah, it's just a cold. I took a COVID test because um mum has signed up for and is now part of something called Anna Chaplaincy. So she gets assigned vulnerable people in the community, and she goes and spends time with them and looks after them, and sees if she can help them with anything. And obviously, they would be very susceptible to panini if it was panini. So I did have to take a test to see if it was panini, to see if mum then needed to isolate, and it wasn't. It came back negative, and that was 4 days into it. I actually feel really good today. I have not felt this good since last Sunday. This kind of like kicked in very late Sunday evening, and I woke up on Monday morning feeling pretty pants, and have been feeling pretty pants all week. I've worked 2 days this week. I finished off the corset, which I sent the photos off to Caroline, and she was like, "You really shouldn't have bound the edges because you need to take it apart and play with it." But I'm not going to take this one apart and play with it. I'm going to call this one good. I need to order the white laces for it because I've got the nude laces in at the moment. But I'm going to call this one good because I think that if I do lose a little bit more weight, which I am planning on, this one will actually fit me better around the top. I've only got 9 pounds to go, so it's not loads of weight, but I would like to get that down to 10 stone again. And then, given that I was at my biggest 2 years ago, 13 stone. Yeah. And again, that's just the trouble with talking about weight and weight loss and stuff like that as well, is it can be very triggering for people. And I don't mean that as a projection on anyone else. I mean it as me living in my own skin and feeling comfortable with how I felt and looked and was interacting with my life generally. So yeah, it's had an email to say I've gone live. That's good. So I must drink my hot chocolate. Yes, that's delicious. So yeah, I would just like to get back down to 10 stone. And I think that corset might fit me better then, because there's still, I can still put my hands and pull. I think I showed you in the short. I can pull it away from my torso, my upper torso, easily, both sides at the same time, and there's room up there. But at the back, it's just digging in and creating that muffin top, which like I have a lot of squish on me, which is why I can squish down so small at the waist. And that squish has to go somewhere. When you are squishing it at the waist, it's obviously going up and down and out. And there's ways around that. You can kind of like manipulate stuff and put things certain places, which I do. But the engineering of it all, the physics of it all, the squish has to go somewhere, and so it's just at the back, muffin top, and then kind of spilling over the sides. So I've got on a regular bra, my favorite regular bra, and you can kind of see that I still get that kind of like overhang and squish there, and I don't think it's because this bra is too small for me. But and I mean also, like, human bodies have this so that you can, so that there is like, it's like a gusset, isn't it? So that you can actually move your arms, because if it was all completely tight and stuff, then mobility would be an issue. But yeah, so I think the corset's 95% good. I'm going to move on to the next corset and try and make that one 100% good. So yes, that's the thing. And thank you for asking, Susan. That was a very long-winded way of saying I'm feeling much better than I was, but I'm still not 100%. And that's why there was only 2 shorts this week and no proper video, but I really wanted to come and do the hangout. So I'm going to try and film a bunch of stuff this week so that there will be proper videos coming out next weekend and the weekend after. So yeah, we've got Big Bird coming down soon, which is awesome as well. She arrives on Saturday, sorry. So yeah. Let's see. Michelle says, I'm hemming school uniforms this morning. Fun times. Nothing like forcing your sojo back into action. Yeah, I think that would make mine run for the hills, to be honest. Una says, hello, I've got my whole wardrobe on my bed, and I'm decluttering, sorting winter from spring summer stuff, and figuring out what the missing pieces are for me to prioritize sewing up. But first, painting my toes because I'm taking photos of outfits. Lol. Yes, I mean, yeah, absolutely. Did anyone watch Mariah Patty's video yesterday where she talks about trying to work out why her me-made wardrobe isn't working for her, and that she's kind of like twigged that it's the proportions that she was sewing for and how she wants to go about creating a new wardrobe. If you haven't watched that, she also did One Rule 8 Steps video as well, which I found really interesting. I really enjoy her channel. I think I even like the chickens and the homesteading bits that she started doing. But if you haven't watched that video, I found it really, really interesting. I'm a patron of hers. One of her tiers on Patreon is that she will design a 12-piece capsule wardrobe for you. And I have missed out on it, and I don't know if she's going to be opening that tier up again once she's completed all the ones that she has. I really, really, really hope that she does, because I really want her to design me a 70s pirate capsule collection, because I just think that would be amazing. But yeah, Mariah Patty, Mariah, new word, Pattie. Yes, thank you, Sarah. Sarah's written it for you, Una. But yeah, I just find her approach to it really, really interesting. She's got a completely different body type to you, Una. She is quite petite and very short-waisted. And while she has curves, she's identified herself as a pure gaming. And I would say you are like an hourglass curvy figure. So like the tips that she's saying that won't necessarily work for you, that wasn't my point, but the just practice or the way she's gone about like looking at it, I thought was really interesting. So yes. Elena says, sending you some small mail tomorrow. Hopefully it will get to you in 2 weeks. Oh, exciting. Thank you. Makey says, hi everyone, hope you're all well. Very well, thank you. How are you? Susan says, that's a wonderful outreach for mum to join. Yes, she is very proud that she was accepted, and she is very much enjoying it. Yeah, she's kind of like making a real effort to, she's got a busier social life than I have. But yeah, she's really enjoying it. Una says, glad you're feeling better today, Sean. Thank you. Jojo says, I really fancy hot chocolate. The universe has decided that I deserve toothache this weekend and want hot chocolate, but not sure it's a good idea. Oh, no, it's always a good idea. Just drink it on the opposite side to the toothache. Sarah says, started watching it, but fell asleep halfway in. Catherine says, a Sainsbury's online order in. Nice. Una says, found her, thank you. Cool. Una says, correct, Sean. According to Trini and Susanna's Body Shape Bible, Fab Book, 12 different body types, I'm a vase, which is an elongated hourglass. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that because you're very tall and very curvy, and you have definite definition as well. So yeah, I can see that. I can see that. I thought it was quite interesting because she'd found somebody whose style that she really liked and wanted to emulate, but she didn't want to slavishly copy it. She wanted to be like, why do I like this? And picked out pieces and reasons that she liked certain parts of this person's style. It was a fictional person. It was Jenna Coleman's doctor's assistant from Doctor Who. Capaldi. What was, I can't remember what I remember the name of the actress, but not the name of the character, because I haven't watched any of the Peter Capaldi ones yet. Don't at me. I will. Clara, thank you, Nimue. Thank you. It was on the tip of my tongue. It's like it's there. Yeah. Nimue says, most important message from Mariah's video for me was that she's sewing for the body type she has, not the one that is in fashion. Body type should never be a fashion. Agreed. It's like Carolina Zabrowski, and I'm so sorry if I'm saying her surname incorrectly, has done like this video about like why different body types and facial shapes and stuff and nose shapes are becoming fashionable and the thing to have. And it's just like, I mean, make the most of what you've got given naturally. And I mean, I'm not one to talk because, you know, I have had tattoos on my face so that I can look better. I have eyelash extensions because my natural lashes are non-existent, and I can't wear a mascara because it makes me swell up and look like a bug. And I've had a boob job because I was a definite pear shape and I wanted to be hourglass. So, you know, I've got kind of like balanced out my upper half with my lower half. But I didn't do that to follow a body shape trend like a lot of people are doing. I did it 22 years ago now because I wanted that shape for me, and I don't think it was in fact, it wasn't in fashion when I did it because it was the 90s, late 90s, early 2000s, so the waif was in shape and in fashion then. So it was one of those things where it was just like, no, I'm doing this for me. And again, one of the best things I've ever done. I love them, and I love the fact that I am now a bottom heavy hourglass, shall we say, because as I said, over the last sort of like 4 or 5 years, I have put on a lot of weight, and it does usually go to my butt and my thighs. But yeah, I thought that was a very interesting point. Nimue agreed. Caroline says, Sir Dan, and I always say his name wrong, don't I? I need to learn how to say it correctly, has come to watch. Hello, puppy. Catherine says, for the curvy hourglass pair peeps, I have succeeded in jeans that fit. 4 size difference between the waist and the bum. Which pattern, Catherine? Tell us more. But very cool. The jeans that I've bought are a size 6, which is daft. And to be fair, the only reason they fit is because they are so super stretchy. I also bought the red foiled ones because I bought the blue foiled ones and they're amazing. I bought the red foiled ones. I couldn't get those. The same size, same company, couldn't get them over my calves because of the different treatment that was on them. And so the fabric was so rigid. It was just like, nope, that's not happening. But yeah, I love those jeans. Although they are, again, still just probably about an inch too short-waisted for me. And they are super high-waisted according to the company. Una says, agreed, Nimue. When we work with who we are, we can never lose in any aspect of life or business. Absolutely. This is delicious. Sue says, morning all. Good morning. Yvonne says, morning everyone. Just doing buttonholes on my second Sorrento jacket. This one is a cream stretch denim and I love it. That sounds very nice. Have you lined it? Are you extra like me? Have you lined it? Jojo says, yeah, that's genius. I knew there was a reason I liked you. That said, I'm very clove oil-tastic at the moment, so we'll have to wait for that to wear off a bit. Yeah, I mean, unless you go for like a cinnamon Christmas spice hot chocolate, if you have such a thing, then it will work well with the cloves, possibly. But yeah. And well done you for putting clove oil in your mouth because I cannot do that. Trusting UK is here. Hello. Hello. I know your name. I have purposely forgotten it. So the next time we meet, if you do come to another meetup, I am going to have forgotten your name. I'm doing it on purpose though, so that I don't accidentally say your name out loud. So if you do come to another KB meetup, because it was lovely to meet you, I am going to have to ask you what your name is again, so that because I have purposely shunted it out of my brain so I don't accidentally like go. And now that I'm saying that, I'm like, I remember what it is and I don't want to say it. No, I'm like, I just got to say it. It's like, no. Sue says, I could do some with some recommendations for shapewear for muffin top. I bought myself some Spanx that I've not worn since, but they came up to like here and they tucked in under my bra, which I quite liked. But the reason I've not worn them is because I couldn't get my head around how you go to the bathroom in them. There is like a gusset that is engineered so that you don't have to take the whole thing off, because otherwise you'd have to, get completely undressed. But I was just like, that can't work, can it? So I've bought and tried those. Orchard corsets have some really interesting stuff to help you make corsets smoother on the inside. I've really fallen down the corset rabbit hole. They have these kind of like bust bra improvers. They're like a quarter cup, so they don't actually kind of like give you, I mean, they do give a little bit of uplift but you wear them over a bra, but they're slightly longer lines so that they tuck down into the top of the corset so that you don't get the muffin top. If you're wearing a waist, you know, like an underbust corset and a bra, you can sometimes get that little smooch between the two. So this thing is supposed to kind of like smooth that area out. And they also have like bamboo corset liners, which are literally tubes of bamboo jersey that you wear under a corset if you don't want to wear a shift or chemise or a vest like I was. And again, the only reason you wear those kinds of things is because you don't want your corset to be right next to your skin. You want something between your skin and your corset so that you clean the thing, not the corset. Although, I mean, as somebody said last week, washing corsets, she had no problems with that. So, and they used to wash our silk corsets, our Playboy bunny outfits. The idea was that every girl would eventually have 3 corsets, so you could wear 2 over a week whilst the other one was being washed. As you can imagine, with 80 of us, that took a little while to get to having the 3rd corset. So we used to wear like one corset for the entire week, and whilst the other one was being washed, because it would go out to be washed professionally, but it was washed, and it was silk. It wasn't dry cleaned. And again, we were wearing things underneath of the corset so that our skin wasn't actually touching the corset at all, so it wasn't gross wearing it for a week. Believe me, I would not be putting on something that, you know. So I had like 2 pairs of underwear, 2 pairs of tights, and then something like usually a bra that I just tucked in, took the straps off and tucked in, because that thing gave me so much support. I just read Elena's comment saying you just leave knickers at home, but I haven't read what the context is. Okay. Catherine says ginger jeans, high waist, stovepipe option, 3% lycra in the denim. Ooh, nice. Sarah says that mentally doing it for yourself is partly when I don't care about whether something is my color or funky pattern. I just wear the thing that I like. Yeah. And as I've said many times before, I always think that if you are feeling good in what you're wearing, then you're going to look good, because if you feel confident in what you've put on and it makes you kind of smile, then regardless of like how it actually looks to anyone else, you're going to feel more confident. So you're going to look more confident. You're going to look happier in and of yourself. That was delicious, even though the last mouthful was cold because I have been talking far too much. So let me catch up with the chat, and then I'm going to try. Oh, there's a pin on the floor. And I can't pick it up. I absolutely love having long nails again. But they are, because they've got the kind of gel over the top, they're a bit thicker, so it means that I can't really pick stuff up. I'm really sorry, I'm going to need to blow my nose as well. Jojo says to Catherine, yes, I'm an hourglass and loved my gingers. I wore them literally to death. Catherine says she has massive front pockets on hers. Samantha says, damn, you've made me want hot chocolate now. Crawling out of my pit to go and make one. It'll be worth it, Samantha. Trusting UK is laughing. Again, I'm trying not to say the name. Catherine says, jeans pics posted in the Peeps group. Awesome. Let me have a look. Oh, I just want to say as well, thank you so much to everybody who responded to my question about what you do when you're what you do when you've lost your sojo. I'm actually going to make a video about it. I didn't put it in the posts, and so many of you guys were just like, oh, give yourself a break, it's fine. And it's just like, oh, thank you. So many of you as well said watching my videos helped you get your sojo back, which is awesome. But yeah, please don't. I didn't mean to worry anyone. I am totally fine. Ooh, the jeans are nice. Sorry, distraction. I'm like, squirrel. They are very nice. I like. Did you use red top stitching? Or just a red for the buttonhole? I like those. Oh, I love the little label that you've put on the back as well. I like that. Very nice. That is awesome. That is totally awesome. Um, where did I get to? Elena says you just leave knickers at home. What was the context of that, Elena? Oh, Elena says it was about your shapewear. Yes. Oh no. I kind of got that much with the shapewear thing. It was just the logistics yeah, it was the logistics of the gusset area. Sorry, too much info. Nimue says, speaking of real life meetings, before I forget, do you have any dates for next spring's retreat already, Shan? My friend is considering coming and we make it a bit of a longer trip of it. Oh, exciting. So believe it or not, I was actually really questioning whether I was going to run another retreat, because I mean, I appreciate that cost of living has gone up for everybody and they are expensive. Like the cheapest ticket for this one is £900. That is a lot of money for a 4-day sewing trip. So yeah, I was kind of thinking that maybe this would be the last one that I did. And I would love to do more, but I've still got 2 spaces on this one available, and whilst that is fine and it's not costing me money to run this retreat, it's also, I do really need 8 is the absolute minimum that makes it viable, and 10 makes it profitable. So yeah, and I mean, where before the panini happened, I had 20 people booked onto 2 retreats over a 3-week period, which was amazing. And I appreciate that, everybody's life's massively, massively changed. And I've gone from those 20 people down to 5 that have continued to book the entire way round, and then I've got 3 new ones for this one, which is wonderful and absolutely amazing. And the 5 people that have been to everything, thank you so much for the continued support and continuing to want to come to things that I do, because that is amazing in and of itself. I'm just checking that I haven't unplugged the laptop again like last week. But yeah, I was questioning whether or not to do another one at all. I probably won't do an autumn one unless I get 10 people who tell me I want to come in autumn. But for next year, I think what I'll do, Nimue, is put up on the Peeps group like who would like to come, because I know Michelle mentioned that she wants to come over from Bermuda, but again, that obviously is going to be incredibly expensive, because she's got to get to the UK from Bermuda and then you've got to come from Germany, so is your friend. So with all that, and then the cost of the actual thing itself, I appreciate that it's a very, very expensive trip to do. So yeah, I think what I'm going to do, Nimue, it will always be the first week of May. I kind of like it because it means that I have something. Oh, Michelle says still planning that. Don't worry, I'll make it happen if we have another opportunity. Okay, cool. So that's 3 people that want to come for next May. It's always going to be the first week in May, and I do that because my birthday is the 1st of May, as you guys know, so coming up soon, and I really love celebrating my birthday, and I like a big fuss being made of my birthday, and I haven't had that for a very, very long time. and that's fine. That's totally fine. I made myself a fuss last year, which was wonderful. I had quite a few of the retreat peeps, and my best friend came early and had like 3 or 4 days with me ahead of the retreat, and then into the retreat. But the reason I put the retreat so close to my birthday, it's not to kind of be like, oh, everybody must, like bring me presents and stuff like that, which you do, which is very nice, and you really don't have to, but it's so that I have a big event that I'm planning and concentrating on, and then I'm not stressing or getting disappointed that my birthday's not being made a fuss of. And I mean, I am fully aware that that sounds incredibly selfish, but it is just, it's good for me, for my mental health, to have it that way around. So it's always going to be the first week of May. So if I do one next year in 2024, which I would love to, I mean, don't get me wrong, I absolutely thoroughly enjoy, like really, really enjoy these retreats. I enjoy organizing them. I enjoy the actual running of them. I enjoy spending time with everybody that comes. I enjoy all the events. I love seeing what people have made. It really makes me very, very happy. I love it. But like I said, I do need a certain number of people to come to make it profitable. And I am a business at the end of the day as well, so I would like to make it profitable, if that makes sense. So yeah, if enough people show interest for next May, it will be the first week of May, and it will be starting on the Tuesday. So starting on the Wednesday, sorry. So Wednesday, that's because that's what's that's what's happening this time, isn't it? Yeah, starting on the Wednesday through to the Sunday. And that's quite nice as well, because in the UK, the first Monday of May is always a bank holiday as well. So my birthday is actually on a bank holiday this year. Nice. And then we also have another one because it happens to be the King's coronation that weekend as well. So it's usually, if you want to extend your trip, then you can do completely. So yeah, sorry, that's a very long-winded way of saying I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing anymore, but I would really like to, if enough people will sign up in advance, basically. Like, I get that things happen over time, because I've had a couple of ladies who signed up ages ago, and this is the reason I have 2 spaces left over this time around, because it was sold out for a very long time. But unfortunately, life has happened for them, and other things have come up, and like, it's things that they can't tweak or get around, and it's really sad. But that's why they're not coming, and that's why I've got the 2 spaces left over. So I get that booking something so far in advance, things will happen in the interim that mean that you can't necessarily actually take part. But yeah. Okay, I'm getting a text from someone. I have no idea who it is. Oh, no, I do. Okay, yeah. A guy that I was chatting to, and he eventually turned around and was like, oh, I'm not looking for a relationship. And it was like, oh, okay, no worries. I hope you find what you're looking for. And he was like, no, I still want to take you out on a date. And I was like, I don't want to go on a date with somebody that doesn't want to pursue a relationship. Like, I'm not saying that we have to immediately start dating and be together from the get-go, but I don't want to go on a date with somebody that's actively not looking for that. So like that. And he keeps texting. He's like, oh, but I still want to take you out. It's like, no. So yeah. Sue says, I'll have a look. I don't have the patience for making one. Lol. Susan says, Shape Mint has a long cami that smooshes everything, no muffin top. Ooh, nice. And Sue says, thank you to Susan. Yvonne says, haven't lined this one, but I'm thinking of another one with lining. Nice. Yvonne, what are you making? The second, your Sorrento. Yes. Oh, I mean, this jacket's not meant to be lined, but I lined it. I just have a thing for lining stuff. It's me. So yeah, I actually got a comment the other day. I've got 2 comments to talk to you guys about. Let me catch up with the chat, then we'll do the comment thing, because there are 2 comments that are really funny. Rude, but funny. So let's catch up with the chat, and then we'll do that. Erica says, my favourite Spanx goes to the natural waist and mid-thighs. Works great for both dresses and trousers, but that depends on where where on the body the muffin top happens. For me, it's high hip. Ah, interesting. See, I'm squishy everywhere. Sue says my muffin is just under the natural waist. Ah, interesting. So you might not need one like Erica said, you might not need one that goes all the way up. Mim says, hello, Sean. How are you today? And hello, everyone. Very well, thank you. How are you? Catherine says, decided to go with dark navy top stitching, except for the buttonhole because I ran out of the navy. I do buttonholes by hand on trousers because the automatic tends not to like them. That is a very, very cool. And I'm the same. I like matching top stitching because I just the trouble if it goes wrong, it's just glaringly obvious that it's gone wrong. Conchetta says, hi everyone. Hello. Gig Eraser says, good evening, peeps. Hope you had a good week. Good. Thank you. How was your, well, I mean, I was ill and I didn't do very much. I did finish my corset and I did finish my dress, which I love. But it's also, I mean, I'm sitting here in this. It's very cleavage-tastic, that dress, because I didn't put the lace in it. I've still got the laces here. I made the laces, but I didn't put them in because I tried it on, and the gaping that I had around the neckline, I fixed the issue. So I was very pleased with myself. But it's very booby. But then we know that I like booby dresses. So yeah. Olivia says, good morning from Iowa. I hope you're all well. 5:55 in the morning here. Catherine says, I have done old gold top stitching before, but thought the navy would be nice. Yes, very nice. I love the idea of doing the old gold, like traditional denim jeans. I think that would look amazing, but I would just be worried that I'd fluff it up and that I would end up with skipped stitches or, yeah, and then the buttonhole. I mean, my machine is very good and probably would be fine, but still. That's better. Yeah, it's better. Gig Racer says, don't forget to like the stream, peeps. Yes, there's 102 of us and 30 likes. The little thumbs up, it really does make a difference. Promise. I've got hot chocolate all around my gob, haven't I? Teresa says, NYDJ jeans are really nice. They are now the only ones I get. This company that I found is called Own. I got it through Next. They were £65, so they were more expensive than the Next jeans that I've got that were very similar in fabric. But these Own jeans have a better size range for me, and they are slightly more high-waisted. So yeah, but I shall have a look at NYDJ jeans. Rotten Ralph says, good morning, peeps. Good morning. Olivia says, it's 40 degrees Fahrenheit. That's 4 degrees centigrade. It's cold. Oh, hello, great tits. Birds. For anyone's, like, there's not a lady out there with great tits flashing at me. There is an actual bird on the bird feeder. Which is very nice to see because usually it's kind of like Jurassic World out there with all the giant dinosaurs that are coming to kill me. So it's nice to see the smaller birds, although like I say, it's a great tit, so it was the bigger version of. Carmen says, hello everybody, trust you're all doing well. Very well, thank you. How are you? Michelle says, still planning that, don't worry, I'll make it happen if we have another opportunity. Cecilia says, hi peeps. Michelle says, I will tentatively put my calendar so I can make all the plans. I like a good party. So I'll put it up in the peeps group, but the dates for next year will be, oh wow, it'll be starting on the 1st on my birthday to the 5th. That's when it will be next year. So the first day will be my birthday. So we will have a birthday party that night. Oh, that's exciting. But yeah, when I went to see Fox Hills the other day, they were just like, oh, are you going to be doing one next year, do you think? And it's like, I would like to. So, I mean, that's 3 people so far. Michelle says, there's no shame in celebrating yourself. As women, we struggle to put ourselves before all the other stuff in life. I mean, to be fair, Michelle, I don't really have that problem because I am my number one priority in my life and I don't have kids, so I don't feel selfish for that. Yeah, I don't genuinely see that as a problem. But that is because I've set my life up like that and I've chosen to live my life like that. I do see what you're saying. Sorry, my cold is kicking in. So yeah. Sorry, this boy is being very distracting. Um, Nimoy says early May suits well. Well, us peeps sure can get a fuss together. And checking the interest before you jump into the planning makes perfect sense. Yeah, yeah. The venue wanted to know so they can block out dates for me because I'm hiring the whole house basically. But yeah, like I say, if I if I put it up in the peeps group and I get 8 people say yes, and we've got 3 so far, so I need 5 more people to say yes, they want to come. Um, I will book it because those extra 2 places I'm sure will get sold over the year. And as I say, I appreciate that life happens. So if you guys, the 3 of you that have already said yes, I want to come, if something happens, it's not the end of the world. Like I would highly recommend travel insurance. Highly recommend travel insurance to cover yourselves in the event that anything does happen, because after a certain point, I can't refund unless somebody takes your place, because I've paid the money to the venue. But yes, if we get enough interest, then we'll definitely do one next year, because like I say, I enjoy it. And next year it'll start on my birthday, so giant fuss, which I am joking. Susan says to Sue, I was a waif shape in the 80s and now I'm a gnome. They come in handy. Carmen says, I'm saving up to join the retreat at some point in the next few years. I'm from Cape Town. I'm willing to starve post the trip as long as I've been able to join you on the retreat someday. Awesome. Awesome. So yeah, I think it's just one of those things, like, if I give you guys enough notice, like this is nearly a year's notice for obviously next year as well, then yeah, hope I mean, the more I get to meet of you, the better as well. I love that. So yeah. Michelle says, I had a family wedding in March that I had to travel for, so that took my retreat money. Need to work on being independently wealthy. Oh, don't we all? That wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that be nice? Samantha says, we'll probably never be able to afford to do the retreat, but I'm hopeful for one day in the future. I have a fabric addiction that seems to eat every penny I have. I mean, Samantha, same. Same. And then we also do, like, I'm hoping to kind of start the So Southampton again, because that was really fun. I mean, that was fun for me because I didn't do any of the work. It was the very, very lovely Gemma from Raining Cats and Bobbins that did all of the work for that, bless her. So yes, we need to have a better distribution of the work done if we do decide to run it again. And she did say that she'd be up for it, because I mentioned it once and she was actually at the hangout when I mentioned it, and she was like, yeah. So yeah, it would be nice to do different levels of events, because I appreciate, like, £900 is the cheapest available seat for the retreat is a lot of money. I do appreciate that. Sue says to Susan, me too. I was always trying to gain weight. Never dreamed I would ever have to worry about muffin tops. Oh, lol. Ron says, I need to be independently wealthy too, Michelle. We all do. That would be very nice, wouldn't it? Sue says, did you see the link I sent you on Instagram, Sean? Did I? Have I just ignored it? It wasn't on purpose. Oh, Sue, no, I've just got your message. Ooh. That McCall's pattern. You're not the first person to tag me in that McCall's pattern. Oh, shh, be quiet. Be quiet. No. This McCall's pattern. Yeah, actually, I've had a couple of people send me requests to do sew-alongs for it as well. It is absolutely beautiful and 100% on my list of patterns that I need to buy when I do my next order. I'm getting to the point where my next order is going to be completely patterns that I want, not just fillers, so that I can get over the $75 pattern limit so that I get free shipping, which is good. Where did I get to? Sue says, new Vogue pattern using border print. Yeah, I've seen it. I love it. And you're not the first person to be like, oh, that's very you. It's like, yes, it is. Nimue says, I think lunch is about ready. I'll be back later. Might there be dress prep by then? No, you know there won't be. HE says, hello, are we making anything or just chatting? Well, technically, we are supposed to be seeing what this dress looks like with that jacket so that I can prep this fabric for the retreat's gala dinner and get the patterns out and get the lining out and that kind of stuff. So technically, there should be some like activity, but so far I've managed to waffle at you for 45 minutes. Is anyone surprised? No, you are not. Also, Lady McElroy and Sherwood's are having a 15% off sale. So I am going to order the red Ponte that I want to try making my Star Trek dress in, my third version of my Star Trek dress. And I think, mind you, I thought the scuba was going to be a winner. I think this is going to be a winner. Let's see. Rotten Ralph says, I tend to wear a corset instead of elastic shapewear, lol. Yeah, I have a feeling that I might be starting to do that. Red Evie says, hi peeps. Hello. Jojo says, spring watch for Shan. Great tits. Squirrel. I haven't seen a squirrel for ages, actually. I'm getting messages now. Hang on. Is this from... Oh, Jojo says she'll help organise the So Southampton meetup as well. So it'll be a flat battery makes, raining cats and bobbins, and Kittenish Behaviour collab. That would be awesome. I'd really like that. Yay. Sorry if you sent me that in private to me just blurting it out to the general public, but that gets you back for you nicknaming my boobs last week. So yeah. Red Evie says, just finished the buttonholes on a 70s style shirt for my hubby. Had to finish before turning in because I was afraid it wouldn't work. Oh, I'm glad that it did. Sounds cool. Michelle says, I'm going to learn from you. Always put everyone first. About the boy. Is he fun and cute? Surely a dinner can't hurt. He is persistent. He gets credit for that. So currently, for some reason, 2 of them are texting me at the moment. One of them I've already been on a date with, and I have another date planned on Friday. So exciting. And then the other one, like I say, does not want a relationship and has been very adamant that he doesn't want a relationship. So I don't want to go on a date with him because he's very cute as well. And I don't want to go on a date and be like, you were very cute. And if he's fun in real life, which I imagine he would be because the conversation was fun, I don't want to be disappointed that I can't have what I want out of it. Because I know I don't want just a fling, and that's what he's saying he wants. So no to a date with one that's actively saying that he doesn't want the thing, because that's, I mean, it's, and again, totally fine, totally fine. That's, you know, he is actively telling me something that he, you know, his boundary, and I am listening to it and going, okay, cool, no worries. I want something completely different. Let's not even start, because I don't want to get hurt because I, you know, find him attractive and then can't have what I want. So no. Wendy says, did you finish your Carolyn PJs yet? No, they are still in pieces next to my Sojo has gone completely missing, and that's why I'm quite excited about this dress, because this is a very, very simple dress, and I think this might become my new Eve dress and my new Anna dress. I already have a lot of these, but I've got like that fabric that I want to make one in, and then that fabric that I want to make one in, and then there's another one behind the mannequin that I want to make one in. And one of my tips usually for getting over losing your Sojo is do one of your TNTs, tried and trues, and quite a few of you, when you were messaging me, replying to my request for what you do for when you're losing your Sojo, quite a few were saying make an Eve dress, and it was like, I have 14. I was like, well, and somebody also then said, well, you've got 6 more before that's too many then. I was like, I like how you think. Yeah. I made my 7537 and I'm very pleased with myself that I got it done, but it's one of those dresses that I love, and I love how it's turned out, but it's also very fiddly and there's a lot of elements in that one. And it was one of those ones where it was just like, actually, this was not as fun or quick a sew as I thought it would be. It's a little bit more challenging. It's not a challenging sew, which is an awesome blog, by the way, but it's definitely a These text messages are not helpful. Sorry, completely distracted now. Yeah, it's too challenging a sew to be a palette cleanser, as it were. So I am going to be doing a video about what to do when you lose your sojo, with my tips for how I cope with it, and then also putting in your tips for how you guys cope with it as well. So yeah, so the answer is, Wendy, they are there, they're ready to go, but they are also a challenging sew. And for some reason, both of those pieces that are next to me need to have piping made, and that's what's holding me up, is having to make the piping to go with both of those pieces, because the Vogue 9076, I'm putting piping in that as well. It's all cut out. All I've got to do is sew the strips together and then put the piping in. I have no idea why that is giving me a mental block, but it has. So no, not yet. Rotten Ralph says, I feel bad about your retreats. I'm always interested, but I'm always a great at cancelling plans. Chronic illness is evil. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like, I get it. I do get it. Oh, excuse me. I 100% get it. Like, I totally understand that people want to make plans. Like I say, one of the ladies has had to cancel because of surgery. Another one has had to cancel because of a funeral. Life happens. Life totally happens. And I think for you, Rotten Ralph, if you want to come, book a place, but obviously just book travel insurance as well. And if you have to cancel before the deposits, the balance is due, then you get the majority of your deposit back, and that's fine. And if you have to cancel after it's all been paid, that's when the travel insurance kicks in. And I am totally happy to refund the full amount after the, closer to the time, if there's somebody that can replace you. I'm not expecting to keep all of your money and then somebody else's money, but I get the travel expenses. Travel insurance is incredibly expensive for people with pre-existing medical conditions as well. I used to be a travel agent. I used to have to sell travel insurance, so I am aware of how that works. I get it. I get that life is difficult, life that happens, and you want to make plans, you want to do the thing, but then stuff is just like, nope, none for you. So I totally understand. HE says, I'd definitely be up for it. Planned on booking this year, but it sold out before I could, and now I have other commitments. Could you have a reserve list? Yes, yeah, absolutely, completely. I do say in the actual details that I will take a list of people who want to be put on as a reserve, and I will contact you first refusal to the people who put themselves on that reserve list. I just, like this year, it just hasn't happened. So yeah. Wendy says, did you finish the Carol in Pajamas? I've already answered that one. Red Evie says, would love to come to the island in May next year. Just need to figure out what my husband does whilst I'm sewing. So it will be in Shanklin, and there is lots of stuff to do in Shanklin. Highly recommend that you hire a car and so there's loads of stuff to do on the island. Lorraine's husband, when he came with, he used to go fishing. That was something that he loved doing. He used to just go fishing. So yeah, we can totally find things that hubby would like to do, and then obviously comes and join us for all the evening activities. So, and it will be nice. Dad will very much enjoy having another guy there, although he does enjoy being the centre of attention for the quiz night when he runs that. Michelle says, I'm still hoping a meetup will fall during a business trip to UK, since I get them occasionally. Maybe sewing overlords will smile upon my travel schedule. Well, Michelle, you need to let me know when you come to the UK, because I'm very flexible and can organise retreats and meetups for specific times. It's like Laurianne and Larry are doing another. No, Larry's not coming this time. Laurianne is coming by herself, but Laurianne is doing another tour of the UK to see all of her sewing friends from YouTube, and I am going to meet her on the 11th of May for a Liberties shopping trip. I haven't put it in the Peeps group yet, but I'm going to. So we could do we're going to be doing Liberties, and then Soho's fabric district, because there is like Poland Street where McCulloch and Wallace and Mizan and a bunch of, they are incredibly expensive shops, so we'll probably go in and just touch things and then like leave with samples maybe. Not actually much fabric bought, but yeah, so I'm going to organize one for when Laurianne's over, so just keep me posted for dates, because that would be awesome. That would be very cool. Caroline says to Michelle, let us know when you're coming. Sure, we can arrange for some of us to meet up. Exactly. Samantha says, hot chocolate is made, big fluffy dressing gown on, and starting on sewing the Dear and Don't Maya Sotis. Nice. Sarah says, I thought that Vogue pattern was a release too similar to the 9076. It is very, very similar. You're correct. This one, though, has like a back zip up and a different front treatment, and I think I'm going to prefer this one. So it's very similar. I've got my 9076 next to me, but it's not exactly the same. But then they do that all the time, don't they? Like kind of variations on a theme. Mim says to Rotten Ralph, same here. I would love to join the retreat, but chronic illness. Una says, ladies, when a man tells you who he is, please listen. Exactly. Jane says, bought an interesting pattern pick in the Peeps group. Let's have a look, Jane. Let us have a look. Ooh, okay. I've got to go into it. Interesting shirt. A bow patchwork shirt. Oh, that is cool. I like it. Very interesting. And I love the way they've sewn that up as well. Very cool. Rotten Ralph says, Grace dress. This is a Grace dress. It's not available to purchase, I'm sorry. The Kim dress by Hand London is similar. Catherine says, I'm finding jeans addictive. Now looking at showers to see what denim corduroy they have. HSO says, did you make Rita? No, not yet. That's also sitting right next to me, as is my Horizon bag. This week, again, I took Monday and Tuesday completely off and curled up in bed and died of viral plague. Came down here on Wednesday and got a lot of got the corset finished, because I was thinking I was going to be able to do the corset video for Friday, but when I put this one on and it still wasn't the perfect fit, I was like, no, I can't. I need to tweak it a bit more. So then I came down on Thursday, finished the McCall 7537, completely thought I was going to get that done in an hour. It took 6, because my mind is just, my brain is not there today, this week, like ill, one of those things. So completely thought I was going to get that fabric cut out for this dress. And then Friday, I was supposed to come down and film my what to do when you lose your sojo video, but I genuinely, my voice, you can hear it now, it's slightly croaky. My voice was 10 times worse than this. And then was supposed to come and do that yesterday to kind of try and catch up. And again, croaky voice. So I wasn't even going to do today's hangout. I was going to just be like, no, let's just take more time off. But my poor channel and the algorithm, yeah, things are not going well. So it was just like, let's come and do the hangout, and then I can always end it early if I start feeling a bit lit. But I've also brought down a drink, so yeah. Rotten Mouse says, Jane, I like it about that bow blouse. Yes. Jojo says, haha, no worries, no secret. Just wanted to ask you first because I didn't want you to feel pressured by asking public, how are the Jessicas today? Great tits. Sorry, couldn't resist. Amen. I love this dress because it is very cleavage-tastic, and then it kind of like emphasizes the waist and then goes out from there. So I'm happy with this. I will put this jacket on in a minute and get your opinion on whether I should be doing that with my Dolce & Gabbana fabric, because that's what today's waffle is supposed to be about, and we're 58 minutes and 23 seconds in, and so far I haven't done that. Rotten Mouse says travel insurance is a must. Yes. And if you have a travel insurance provider that knows your medical history, then you obviously tend to stick with those. And again, I'm just speaking from the experience I had as a travel agent, booking people onto holidays and telling them that they needed to have travel insurance. So yeah. Cecilia says, he's pursuing you in a way that sounds like he's dangling the idea of a relationship in order for you to stroke his ego, and he maintains the idea of being in control. Throw the whole man away. Exactly. Like, it's just like he's told me what he doesn't want, which doesn't align with what I want. So, yeah. And then there's another one that's being, I mean, to be fair now, there's two. Bob and I are still talking. 12 weeks of talking. I think I'm going to send him a GIF from, The Princess Bride, when Vicini keeps saying, inconceivable. And Inigo is like, that word, I do not think he means what you think he means. Because he keeps saying soon. So I'm going to send him a GIF saying, soon, that word. I do not think he means what you think he means. I mean, to be fair, it's getting to the point where this other guy is kind of like heading out in the lead, because he actually wants to spend time with me. He's taken a day off work and is coming over to the island on Friday next week, and is talking about getting an Airbnb or a hotel for the evening so that he can stay, and we can spend some time together on Saturday as well. Like, he's actively wanting to visit me and come and see me and spend time with me, which is amazing. And as lovely as Bob is, and as amazing as Bob is, and as much as Bob and I have, I think, a real connection, this guy is getting there as well, because like, we've only just started talking. We started talking on the 5th of April, and we've already been on a date. And I've started talking to Bob on the 10th of January. And we've spoken on the phone many times, but yeah, it's getting to the point where it's like, I really like Bob, but this one's kind of like pretty awesome as well. And yeah, so we'll see. Nina says, what job haven't you had? I mean, quite a few. I can tell you the jobs I have had. My very first job was a travel agent. Very first job was a travel agent. Then model, then dancer, then spokesperson, Playboy bunny. Insurance. So I worked for a couple of insurance companies as a claims handler, and then not a loss adjuster, but like it was a claims handler for the second company as well, just a very different type of job. Then I was a receptionist for that company when I moved to London. Croupier. And then this. So yeah. Good Gracer says, I'm catching up on the video. Feel free to have an Australian New Zealand retreat if you get the chance. I'd definitely be interested. I did actually talk to somebody about, it was Georgiana. I did actually talk to somebody about coming and doing like some classes, some NCW classes in Australia. It was just the organisation side of things that I know nothing about Australia. Quarter Australian, never been. I wouldn't know, my reference would be looking at Gertie's classes that she does and then kind of trying to emulate that, but I don't know about visas and how getting paid while I'm over there. And, I would love to do it. I would absolutely love to do it, but I want someone else to organise it for me. I would be really worried as well about organising it all and then nobody turning up or nobody wanting to come. And I mean, to be fair, there was a bunch, like Melanie even said that she'd fly over from New Zealand to kind of take a class in Australia if I came and did that. So I would love to, but I don't know about the logistics and the legal side of like working over there and teaching over there. I mean, technically, if people were coming to take a class from me, I'm the only person that can do that job. So like that kind of visa should be possible, but they're very difficult to achieve, I think. So I don't know. I would love to though. That would be very cool. Michelle says, will do. Yay, exciting. Awesome. Rotten Ralph says, where are you tweaking the corset now? So let me show you the photo that Caroline sent me. I put it in the Peeps, into the waffle. But so Caroline sent me this picture, so hopefully you can see. But that corset isn't tight at the top, but it's doing that, and I don't like how that looks at all. So that blue wedge, she's saying to add there so that it becomes the red line. So yeah, I need to try that and see if that works. Sue says, sorry, just catching up. Glad you like the dress. I do. Sister said, sister's called. She's having trouble the bobbin not catching correctly. Oh no, that sucks. Yeah, that sucks when that happens. Lollapalooza says, I'm starting down the 9 buttonholes on the McCall's 8139 in denim, terrified to screw it up. Start at the bottom. Don't start at one that's like right front and center. Start at the bottom so that if it does fluff up. I mean, I always have the thing that's like they then go absolutely fine the whole way up until this last one, and then the last one's just like so yeah, but no, I feel your pain. Olivia says, Sean, did you ever have your chiropractor appointment? If yes, how did it go? I had 3 actually. I liked them, but I ended up having more pain. Sorry, he's texting again. He knows I'm live. He's doing it on purpose because I was texting him earlier when he was busy. So he's like, horses for courses. I was like, yeah. So yes, I really should just put my phone away, shouldn't I? And not look. But yes, I did go to the chiropractor. I ended up in more pain than less. I don't know why that was. He did say that actually I was very well aligned everywhere else. Because a lot of you guys were worried because of the way I sit or because of the sewing, that like maybe one kind of like side of me was slightly out of alignment. And he said that like actually my hips and my shoulders and everything pretty well aligned. The acupuncturist that I went to see, I was meant to tell you about it last week, didn't I? But I don't think I did. I don't think I got around to it. He said that this side of my shoulder blade is kind of unaligned from this side because he had me stand up and he was kind of trying to see what was going on. So yeah, I did go to the chiropractor. I did 3 appointments. It didn't help and actually made things worse pain-wise. So it was expensive as well. So I decided to kind of keep going down the pain clinics route and try the acupuncture when that came through. And it's only just come through, but yeah. Catherine says, if someone says they just want a F buddy, then that's fine, but not what you want. Exactly. I mean, like maybe at some point in my life that would have been like, yeah, you're awesome, but that's not what I want now. So he's told me this, and then this is the thing, like he has actively said to me, this is what I want, and it's like, this is fine. I don't want to go on a date with you and try and change you into something else or try and be like, oh, I'm amazing. And of course, you're going to want a relationship with me because I am amazing. And he probably would end up wanting a relationship with me. But no, he's already told me what he wants and what he doesn't want. And so I'm listening to that and moving on. Doesn't matter how pretty he is or how funny he was. Like, no. Michelle says, if the Princess Bride doesn't move Bob to action, move on. Yeah, I mean, this is the point. This is the thing. Like, as an amazing as time as I'm having talking to Bob, and I really, really enjoy talking to him, and we have an amazing connection. I don't want just virtual, And I did ask him the other day. I did say to him, like, do you actually have time? Do you actually have time for the relationship that you've said that you want and that we've been talking about? And he replied with, I will. Just everything is happening at the moment. You can't choose when someone comes into your life, I guess. And he has a point. Like, he has got a lot of stuff. He has got a lot of stuff going on, like work, emergencies that have happened, life stuff, moving house, buying a house. He has got a lot going on at the moment. And I believe him. I don't think he is making up excuses to not see me. I believe that all the stuff that he has going on is going on. But I also want to be somebody's priority, not like number one priority. I think they should be their number one priority. But exactly what I've just seen Una's comment right at the bottom there. When something is important enough, you make the time. Exactly. I want to be enough of a priority for him that he will carve out an evening, because that's all I'm asking for, is like, I want to meet you physically in real life and see if the connection that we have, mentally and verbally is physical as well. Because if it is, then I'm willing to be patient. If it's not, like, I've had an amazing time talking to you and getting to know you and chatting with you, and that's wonderful, but like I need to know. So yeah, Yeah. Let's see. Una says, nah, it's pretty clear what he wants. The guy who wants to spend time is much better bet. Yeah. Elena says, this one is this on is next to you and really wants to spend time with you. Sorry, this one is there next to you and really wants to spend time with you. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's really like, as lovely as Bob is, like, he's not making space or time for me in his life. And yes, he lives far away. But it's a 40-minute drive for him. It's a 40-minute trip for me, for us to meet in the middle. And, you know, like, he's not making that a priority. He's not carving out time for me in that way. And I'm getting annoyed and frustrated, because as lovely as it is, I mean, at the moment he's really sick. Like, he's really sick. I'm really sick. This week would not have worked because he's been in bed all week. I have been in bed all week. I would not have want to have met him this week. And, you know, like, if you're sick, you're sick. I get it. Life happens. I totally get it. But I do want somebody that wants to make me a priority in their life. I do want to be important to somebody. I don't want to be somebody's like option down the line, which is a problem that I had in my last relationship. I wasn't a priority, or at least I didn't feel like I was a priority, and that really wasn't good for my mental health within that relationship. So, you know, one of those things. Darshana says, oh my gosh, hi, has anyone seen the new Stella McCartney clothes ad? I haven't. I shall have to have a look. Rotten Ralph says, yeah, that makes sense. Jennifer says, we would all subscribe online from Australia prior to the course, so no need for visas, etc. Okay. See, I need to sit down and do some, like, because Lorianne was supposed to be coming with Mum and I to do an Australian tour, and then obviously Panini. I also had this going on at the time, and the surgeon was talking about actual surgery, and I had appointments coming up, and it was just like, oh, I don't want to book a giant trip that I will then have to cancel because of surgery and stuff like that. And, you know, obviously that hadn't happened, and then Panini. But yeah. Darshana says, that's like Caroline sent you. Does it mean the length at the back also needs to be longer? So Felicia says, hello everyone, I made my next attempt at a bra and finished it today. To find it a total fail, but lessons were learned. I have been sick since Friday, so happy that I got to do some sewing today. I feel your pain, so Felicia, and I'm sorry it was a total fail, but I'm glad that it was helpful fail, because that's, I mean, even like fails teach us something. It's like whenever I put epic fail or this didn't work on, I'm kind of playing to the YouTube algorithm, because my videos where I'm like, this is awful, seem to do better than the ones where I'm like, oh my god, I love this. You know, I'm not sure what that says about the human condition, but yeah. So yeah. Darshana says, so Felicia, well done. Good to see it as a part of the learning journey. And Darshana says he's probably watching. If this is the guy that's texting at the moment, I haven't told him the name of the channel, and I specifically asked him not to look. I don't mind if he's watching. If you are, hi. I haven't given you a nickname yet, because I can't use the nickname that your friends use for you, because it's not obvious. It's too obvious. So I need to find another nickname for you. Bob does have access to the channel. He Googled me, like, before I'd asked him like not to Google me. So he'd already done it and found me and watched videos and enjoyed them. So if Bob does watch these, hi, hello. I think you're awesome. I really want to meet you. Pull your finger out, please. I hope you're feeling better. Yeah. So yeah. I mean, I don't. Rotten Rouse says, you are well aligned. Okay, pain-wise, worse. Humph. Yeah, no. The chiropractic wasn't... I don't know if it was just because it was a change of everything, and then suddenly it was just like a release of like a tension in muscles or whatever that was just like, okay, now we get to shine. But it didn't help. It was a very nice experience, actually. It was timpani, so it was the softer one, not the cracky bone one. But yeah. Dasha says the Stella is is a chain, I think, that drapes shoulders and chest, and they put a suit over it. Oh, cool. I was going to watch this on catch up, but I saw that Stella and thought of Sian, so had to come and discuss. Nice. Gig Racer says his desires do not align with yours. The fact that he keeps pushing after you've clearly stated no is a massive red flag. Block and let the man go. Ah, man go. That's so brilliant. I love that. Let the man go. Yeah, no, in fact, you know what? Let's actually block his number, because he does keep texting, and it's got to the point where it's just like I'm not replying. So let's block. How do I do that on here? No, not like that. Block. Oh, there we go, block. Okay, block. Blocking. Done. Now I can delete the chat. Delete chat. There we go. Done. So no more texts. Yeah, he told me what he didn't want. Let's listen to him. Livia says, oh, I'm sorry it didn't work. I live with daily pain, so I understand the hope disappointment with trying new things to help alleviate your pain. Yeah, the acupuncture actually was really interesting. So it turns out the NHS will only give you 6 acupuncture appointments your entire life, regardless if they are effective at relieving your pain. If they are effective at relieving your pain after the 6 appointments, you have to pay for them yourself. And apparently, if you can't afford that, then they shouldn't offer you the acupuncture appointments at all, which I thought was amazing. So the acupuncturist suggested we try a PENS machine, like TENS, but slightly more smaller and more specific. Because that way I don't lose my 6 acupuncture actual appointments. So I might need them in the future for something else. Because he did say, he's like, in terms of our pain clinic, you're a baby. He's like, yes, I am. I like it very much. But he showed me this PENS thing, and it's like a TENS machine, so it's an electrical current, and he put it on my hand, and he was holding it, and then when he put his other finger on it, completed the current, and I could feel the pulse. And so he put it on my hand there, and then put his finger there, and it was really strong. When he put his finger over here, it was going the current had to travel the whole way through my body, which was really strong. Put it on the top of my head and put it on my hand. I couldn't really feel anything. It felt like a spark. When he put it on the top of my head, he put it on my jaw and then put it on the back of my hand, and my entire jaw started twitching and spasming. And he then, because I'd said before, he kind of like stood me up and had a look at my alignment of my shoulder blades and stuff, and he put it behind my neck on my shoulder blade, and then here as well. And that was like, oh, hello, because every other time on that level it had been noticeable, but it wasn't on the highest level. But it was also one of those ones where it was just like, I'm aware that there's an electrical current going through me. But he said, he was like, oh, so, you know, the spasming of the muscles along your jawline, and he did it both sides. He's like, that clearly indicates there's something wrong with the nerves there. So, you know, this will be an effective treatment. And I immediately burst into tears. And I'd already told him I was scared of needles. And he was like, I was like, the amount of courage it's taken me to get into this room. And it was just an exploratory talk to see if I would be suitable for acupuncture. It wasn't actually an actual acupuncture appointment. I didn't know that at the time. So the fact that I managed to get myself into the room for me was a big deal, because needles. And so I told him that. And then, like I say, I burst into tears the minute he was like, well, there's clearly something wrong with the nerves along this area, because if the nerves were working fine, then the muscles wouldn't be spasming and jumping in that way. And as I say, when he'd put it anywhere else on me, I didn't get the twitching and the muscle spasms or the nerve reaction that I got when it was here. And like I said, I literally burst into tears. He was like, you're determined not to like me, aren't you? And I was like, no, it's just, you're the first person that's acknowledged that there's a problem. Like the surgeon and the orthodontist, the only thing that they said that there was a problem was that, yes, your jaw has moved and you've got gum disease, so you need to get that under control. But at the end of it, when I had got that done, they were like, well, we don't know what's wrong, and we're not going to do anything else about it. We're going to dismiss you as a patient and pass you over to the pain clinic. So I burst into tears during that appointment as well. And that was also in the middle of my breakup with Wilson. And you know what? I should have known, because I burst into tears. And I didn't want to phone Wilson because I didn't think he'd be sympathetic about the fact that, like, I'd been through 5 years of explorations to be told that there was nothing they could do, and I didn't want to call him and tell him that because I didn't think he'd be supportive. Anyway, so I literally sat there crying, and he was just like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "Yeah, no, it's just you're the first person to acknowledge that there is actually a problem. Like, there is a physical problem." And I said this to Jojo because I talked to her later that day. We're just like, I mean, it got to the point in my head where it was just like, am I making this up? Like, am I making this pain up? Is this just normal for everybody? Is everybody living like this? And I am just being a dramatic little, special snowflake about the fact that I have pain. Like, is this just normal? Is this how everybody else lives? Am I making this up? And when it moved and twisted like that, I just thought that was like the electrical current running in. But I mean, like I say, when he put it in other places, that didn't happen. He put it here and it happened. And he was like, "Oh yeah, so there's obviously a problem with the nerves there because that shouldn't happen. It should be running through." He's like, "How does it feel?" I was like, "Well, different." And he's like, "That's exactly what we're going for. We're trying to tell the brain that there's something different going on here, that the brain needs to pay attention because with the trouble with chronic pain as opposed to acute pain is like, oh, I've bashed my finger and the brain's like, must fix. But when it's chronic pain, and again, I know loads of you know this because loads of you have this, but chronic pain is the brain's just like, well, I'm used to that now. Okay, you're in pain. I've tried, but nothing works. So pain for you. So the fact that this thing gave me a different sensation, it wasn't painless, it was different. And I said that to him, and he was like, "That's exactly what we want. Like, it's different." So the nerves are sending different messages to the brain, which might get it to the point where the brain's like, "Hang on a minute, what's going on there? Must investigate." But yeah, so it was a really interesting appointment. And he's recommended me for treatment for this thing. And the PENS machine itself, apparently, one of the good things that came out of the pandemic is that all the people in like China, India, all the people that apparently 3 billion people that rely on acupuncture weekly for different things obviously couldn't have that treatment during the pandemic. They all had to stay at home. So this PENS thing got mass produced, which made it cheaper and cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. To the point where it's like, I think you said £18, and it's like, if it's an £18 thing that I just do to my face, it's like, the one for your back, we'll have to get somebody else to do that for you. And I was like, my mum is an ex-nurse, if she can come to the appointment. He's like, yeah, that's totally fine. So he's going to show mum how to work that for me. So yeah, I like I say, it wasn't painless. It wasn't pain relief. It was just different. But I will take different. So yeah, and actually having it acknowledged that it's something wrong was just really overwhelming, which is why I cried. So yeah. Una says, when something is important enough, you make the time. Yes, I've read that one all before, haven't I? Yeah. Sue says, did Bob have a lot going on before he put himself on the dating app? Yeah, one of the very first things that I sort of said to Bob when we started talking, was like, "Oh, what are you looking for?" "I want a long-term adventure buddy." And he was like, "Oh, I don't know, good conversation, meeting friends, hanging out, possibly a relationship if I find my person, who knows?" So right from the get-go, he was like, I'm looking for a connection of some description and like degree of commitment, like, from good conversation through to actual maybe meeting my person. And one of the very first things I said to him was like, "What's going on?" And he was like, "Oh, I've got this, and this going on. It's all going on here at the moment." And then other stuff has just happened in the interim. And I get it, life gets busy. So like I did say to him very recently, I was like, "Do you still want to meet up in real life?" And he said, yes, I do. Of course I do. How are we going to have a relationship if I don't? It's like, yeah, good point. And then that's when I said to him, "Do you have time for the relationship that we've talked about?" And that's when he said, "I will. Everything's just happening at the moment. You can't choose when someone comes into your life." So again, he has not given me any red flags. I don't disbelieve anything that he has said. He is the person that I'm talking to because I have seen independent videos of him talking out loud, that he did not send me. Like he Googled me, I Googled him. He's kind of famous in the sphere that he works in. He's very well known at what he does in the sphere that he does it in. So yeah, I get that life gets busy. I get that life gets in the way, but it's also getting to the point where it's just like I know me. I know what I like. I want to be somebody's priority. I don't want to be their number one priority. I saw something on the internet the other day that was just like this woman saying, I don't want to be my boyfriend's partner's number one priority. He should be his number one priority. He should be working on himself. He should be chasing his dreams, his goals, all of those things. He should be his number one priority, like 100%. I don't want to be that. I don't want to be his reason for being. I want to be his number two priority. I want to be an important part of his life and helping him achieve all of those things and him doing the same for me. I want to be my own priority, and then I want him to be in the next one. Tits are back. I'm literally like Doug from Up. Squirrel. So yeah, I agree and get that, and he is busy working, and I do understand. He works abroad most of the time, and I don't mind a long distance relationship in that, as long as specific time is carved out and set aside for me to spend time with them in real life. So yeah. I also haven't stopped talking and chatting with other people the entire time since January. There was a time I did stop because I really, really like Bob. And I was just like, everyone else is not living up to Bob. But then everyone else was 3 catfishes, 2 ghostings, and like just some like meh conversations. But then this new one has come along and is kind of awesome. So like, if Bob really does like me as much as he says he does, he needs to pull his finger out, because otherwise I want a physical relationship. I want to spend time with my partner. Yeah. Rockmel says, I finally got my Botox injections a month later, so I'm finally feeling better. Oh, I'm so glad for you. I'm still waiting for my appointments. I need to chase that up because they said that they would get in contact and they haven't, and I'm just a bit worried that, yeah, they said they would, but they haven't, and I'm just worried that they've forgotten about me, so I need to chase that up. Livia says, I was in the process of divorcing my first husband when I met my now husband, and I was definitely not looking for a relationship, but the guy stole my heart. We've been together for 21 years. Yeah, that's lovely. And like loads of you guys have sort of said as well, like it took you 6 months, 12 months to actually see the person that you've been talking to for a period of time. And, like, I do really like him. I do really, really like him. Like, I really want to meet him. And if it's as good in real life as I think it's going to be amazing. But I do need to be a priority for him. And I don't feel like I am. And it's beginning to, like that. Yeah. Like, it's fine. Like, people, like you've all been saying with this other guy, the one that's told me he doesn't want a relationship but still wants to meet me. It's like, yeah, he's told me what he wants. And like this guy has told me what he wants, but he's not making the effort to meet me. And then this new guy has told me what he wants, has made the effort to meet me, is continuing to make the effort. And, I'm really enjoying talking to him. He's texted again. He's purposefully trying to distract me. Yeah. I mean, this is the thing. It's like Bob at the moment is this imaginary boyfriend. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Bob, if you watch this, for fluff's sake, let's just actually meet up, even if it's for a couple of hours of an evening, just to see. And then, like, I can be patient-ish. Like, I get it. Moving house sucks. Buying a house sucks. Believe me, I know. Like, deadlines when you're self-employed, I get it. Totally get it, but yeah. Yeah. Um, Darshna says, oh, good point, Sue. Gig Racer says, my now husband lived over 100 kilometers away when we met online. We were both working FIFO jobs and only had 4 days overlap every 6 weeks. He always made time to drive and see me. Priorities. I mean, that's the thing. I'm quite happy to go over there and meet him. Like, I'm not expecting him to come all the way to see me. Like, I am happy to meet midway. I just, like, I do want to be a priority. I need to be a priority in somebody's life if I'm in a relationship with them. I need it. I know that about myself. I need it. So, yeah. Olivia says, my husband said, tell Sean I said hi. So hello, Sean from Ed in Iowa. Hi, Ed. He still believes something is wrong with men out there. P.S. He loves your sense of humor besides the way you look. Thank you. Yeah. I mean, this is the thing. I am nice. Like, I am a catch. I mean, clearly there's something wrong with me because I'm 43, nearly 44, and still single. But I think that's just been me not recognizing what is important in my life and what I need out of relationships. And the fact that I have kind of sat down over the last year and kind of really thought about what is important to me and what I'm not willing to compromise on and what I am willing to compromise on. Like, I think that's a good thing. And I don't want to settle. Like, I really don't want to settle because I love my life. It would just be nice to have someone to share it with if that all aligned. So we shall see. Nimue says, I'm back. Hello. Rotten Ralph says, 6 your entire life. And he was putting on the acupuncture points. Yeah, he did say the trouble with TENS machine is it's like very kind of like a large area. In this area, there's like very precise and pinpoint accurate points. So yeah. Gig Racer says only 6 appointments. That's so frustrating. I hope the PENS treatment works for you to supplement the acupuncture. Well, we're doing PENS first, so that acupuncture can be saved for later in life if I need it. Jojo says, mango, Gig Racer, that's fantastic. I kept looking at the emoji thinking, peachy? Horner moment, Homer moment, dough. Yes. Nim says, sounds like a bit of trigeminous neuralgia, possibly. We were talking about what nerve sheaths and things do over time when there's constant pain in areas. So yeah, it was really interesting actually. He, like it was a very in-depth appointment. The person after me had cancelled, so he had like a 2-hour and 45-minute slot. So we were there for an hour and 45 minutes talking about all sorts of different stuff, which was wonderful. He's an Avengers fan, which was very cool. So yeah, it was a really interesting appointment to kind of like work out what was going on and why certain things are certain ways and stuff like that. So yeah. Ron Rouse says no, should not do that, not jumping around. It will probably help. Yeah. Caroline says the tears read the relief of being believed. Yeah. It was genuinely like one of those ones where he did the thing, he said it, and then I literally burst into tears and he was just like, you were determined not to like me. And it's like, no, I think I love you. So I mean I didn't, but yeah. Gig Racer is laughing at Jojo. I'm glad it was understood. Mango! That is genius. Rotten Mouse says, my fingers are crossed, it sounds promising. And she says it does to Nim. Nimue says, so glad to hear you found something that might offer you relief. Fingers crossed, indeed. Linda's here, probably not what you want to hear, but ignore the words. His lack of action tells you all you need to know. If he wanted, he would. Yes, there is a lot of if he wanted to, he would. I do understand that as well, but there is also the flip side of things that other people, like, if someone is genuinely telling you like that I have this and this and this going on in my life, it's not necessarily an excuse. It is just I do actually have this and this going on in my life, and it's up to you to then decide whether. Oh, hang on, got a text message. Oh no, it's from Function of Beauty. Okay, don't know. It's not always you know, like people can genuinely have all this other stuff going on in their life, which does mean that they don't have the time to devote to you the way that they would like to. So it's not always necessarily if he wanted to, he would. Although I do understand and recognize that. Um, like I genuinely believe everything that he's been telling me that he has had going on. But that doesn't necessarily mean to say that he is right for me because, as I say, I need to feel like I'm a priority in somebody's life, and I don't at the moment. So, um, yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. It's just like you've got all this stuff going on. You go do the stuff. Like you go fix the stuff. Like yeah, if I still happen to be single when you're ready for spend some time with me, then great. If I'm not, then it wasn't meant to be. So yeah. Rotten Mouse says chase the Botox. Yes. Olivia says with regards to my husband, we definitely became friends first. Rotten Mouse says if they show you who they are by actions, believe them. Yeah. Rotten Mouse says and you're enjoying him distracting. Yes, yes, I am, and he knows that as well. I was enjoying distracting him earlier when he was busy. So yeah. Good Gracer says, sorry, fly in, fly out. Ah, okay, cool. Rotten Rouse says, I've used the pens machine, it's useful. Yeah, this is the thing, I'm not expecting it to be a miracle cure and I'm fixed and I'm not in pain anymore. I'm hoping the Botox will help with that as well. But it was just nice being in a different sensation. And this is what the guy was saying. He was like, look, you know, if you wake up at 2 a.m. because you're in pain, it would be nice that you could do this thing so that you're in enough relief that you can then go back to sleep. And it's like, yeah. So he's not saying that this is going to fix the pain. It's just different. Darshana says, okay, nothing is wrong with you and still single. I think it's not the best way to look at this. You have been in relationships. You have tried compromising. Oh, it was a joke, Darshana. I mean, obviously I'm perfect. Wisely, you're realizing that you deserve to be less compromising to have a better balanced relationship that is more fulfilling. Most of us aren't that brave. Yeah, no, I promise it was a joke. I do, you know, like, I mean, I know I'm not perfect as much as I've just said that I am. I know I'm not perfect, but I don't need to be perfect. I just need to meet the right kind of person that wants to work on, like I said this to a couple of people. It just your weird and your kink need to blend well with the person that you're with, and for the last one, you know, that didn't happen. And as much as I tried to make it happen, it wasn't one of those things that was going to blend well. So you know, it sucked because we got on so well, and you know, Wilson is not a bad person. Wilson is amazing. Like we laughed so much together, which was why it was so hard to admit that there was so much else wrong in the relationship, because the core of it, the friendship part of it, was amazing, but we were better friends than we were anything else, and we should have left it at that. So yeah. Good Gracer says to Darshana, absolutely agree. Rotten Rouse says, combine acupuncture with Botox, it might be magical. I'm hoping. We'll see. Gig Racer says, you need to find your lobster. He's her lobster. Yes. Elena says, just stupid thought. If Botox numbs the nerves, would that electric pen work properly and or don't fluff Botox? I have no idea. I did tell the acupuncturist that I was hoping for Botox as well, and he wasn't like, oh, they're counterintuitive, don't do both. So yeah, see. Darshana says, I know you know, but sometimes it needs to be said. Rotten Mouse says to Darshana, you sound very well balanced. It's a good thing. And Darshana says, some days. Guys, I need to go to the bathroom for a second. So talk amongst yourselves. Don't move the mannequin. I will be back because I still need to try this on with you and start prepping for the dress. But I do need a quick bio break. I will be back momentarily. And apparently I've also brought in leaves from outside. How did that happen? I'm back. Stop talking about me. Hello. Okay. You guys. Rotten Ralph says it should work together to retain the nerves and the muscles, retrain the nerves and muscles. Darshna, that's about the Botox in the pens. Darshna says, quick, raid the fabric. I need knit interfacing. That's under the table over there. Dear Gracer says, Botox doesn't numb the nerves, it just stops movement, so there's still sensation. Darshna says, is anyone here in Wales, Cheshire Way? Sarah says, you know how in the movies they have those machines that they can magically make food and make it appear? We need that for fabric. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Nina says, now you must share the suitings. Gig Racer says to Rotten Ralph, I'll help you with the suiting and the coat fabrics. Ralph says, I'm grabbing her suitings. I missed that bit, yeah. Rotten Ralph says, Gig Racer, it paralyzes the muscles to release the spasms. Darshna says, I might have to go move her silks about or make fabric bundles like casual wardrobe fabrics for makes. Nina says, I could use some of the red viscose for a dress for my mum. I'm sorry, that's all gone. Jojo says, Bagsy the faux fur. Mine. Rotten Mouse says, I'm grabbing silks. Let's split the viscose. I need lining fabric. Darshna says, lol to Sarah, I just want one for fabric storage. Gig Racer says to Rotten Ralph, exactly, but it doesn't stop sensation feeling. I have it done for TMJ and migraines, and I still have sensation in my face. Nina says, ooh, there's blue flowers in the upper left corner. Blue flowers, upper left corner. So, there or there? That's silk. That's Dolce & Gabbana silk. No. That's mine. I mean, it's all mine. Darshna says, oh, wait, what about the embroidered patches? Rotten Ralph says, collect the solids. Darshna says, shh, don't tell her. Nina says, hides behind the clothing rack. Rotten Ralph says, Nina, I don't need to share. Conchetta says, oh my goodness, I missed so much. I fell back to sleep, exhausted after the New York City trip yesterday. Sadly, no mood shopping. Saw Hamilton. Need to watch the replay. Nice. Darshna says, show us the Dolce & Gabbana silk. If you want to see it properly, go and have a look at the Gold Hawk Road meetup vlog. Oh, knocking the jacket on the floor as well. It came off the hanger. Come here. Passion flower and hydrangeas. Isn't it beautiful? You may not have it. It is all mine. Don't think it's going to go back in there, so I'm going to put it in that one for you. Right, let's try this jacket on with this dress and see if. Do you see what I mean about this dress being cleavage-tastic, though? Like, hello. So let's try this on and see if this is a good combination. Obviously not the prints together. Is it too? I think it might be too long, you know. What do we think? Doesn't I should have put like, I don't have a plain one of this jacket. That's the trouble. Actually, it's a bit big. If it wasn't so big, if it was smaller, I like that. I like that a lot. But it is a good sort of 6 inches too big. That's so I'm holding it together at the front because I would put like I would put like a hook and eye on at the front. So yeah, this is wow, this is way too big. Let's pin. Mum's back from church. pin it at the back. There we go. Right. Yeah, that. Look how big it is. But that, I really like that together because it's like still, hello, here are my boobies. Hello, here's my cleavage. But it goes in at the waist. I would be wearing a petticoat under the skirt to push that out a little bit more. I like that. Look how big it is. That making me wonder about the skirt that I made to go with this, whether that's because so many of my skirts are far too big for me now and don't fit. But I think that combination's nice. The side seams are massively out. Okay. I need to take this off and then read what you guys are saying about it. So this is the level that I want my corset to be at. Actually, my bra is a little high at the moment, but that's where I want the corset to come down to. But I don't know if that's going to give enough support for the boobs at the front. Because I understand how engineering, there needs to be some support. Because the top half of that jacket fits, I just need to take a lot in at the bottom. Where did I get to with the shirt? Let's see. Ralph says it's pretty blue silk. Nimue says it seems you all had more fun during the bio break. I just made tea. Dasha says, ooh, pretty. Joanne's feeling crafty says, hi, I'm late. What's going on? Are we shopping or stash? I'm supposed to be prepping to make this dress. Nina says, so pretty. Good Grace says, so pretty. Elena says, try the jacket on while standing. Caroline says, Dolce & Gabbana silk. I have no regrets for talking you into that. No, me either. Oh, actually, I've just seen a new slip pattern that's come out. The Celeste dress, which I really, really like. Now, I don't know. I've never made the Sicily slip dress, so I don't know if this one is appealing to me more because there's just more curve in the drawing. So I'm going to still make the Sicily slip dress and see how that looks on me and see if I can make it do the kind of hourglass thing, which we shall see. Rotten Ralph says, I have cotton sateen that's poppy flowers. Pretty. Darshana says, take a bit off the length. Sarah says, I think it hits exactly at the waist. Really lovely. Darshana says, style is great. Rotten Ralph says, it's a lovely shape. Nimue says, a smidge shorter, but otherwise it goes well together. Linda says, just a thought, but if he really doesn't have the time from January to dry 45 minutes, could you go all the way to him? No way he couldn't find an hour just so you wouldn't be in limbo. Yeah, no, I'm actually going to suggest that because, I agree. I 100% agree. And there is a nice town semi-near that has some nice fabric shops. So I can make it not a completely wasted time. But yeah, I completely agree. I'm gonna ask that because it is getting to the point where it's just this is getting ridiculous. Gig Racer says, I think it's possibly needs to be an inch or so more cropped in the back. Lena says you can crop it 2 inches, but it looks incredible. Daydream Linda says I am in Cheshire. Caroline says shortened by 1.5 inches and slimmed to fit style will work. Rotten Ralph says hook or brooch. So what I would do is put a hook and eye on and then possibly pin brooches onto the front to make, or put I have got a couple of blingy clasps and things. But I don't know which one I would want, or if I would want that with this bright big print fabric. Gig Racer says love the style though. Conchetta says that looks great. Caroline says, can you get really pretty cardigan clips to hold the fronts together? Yes. Catherine says, what pattern is the jacket? It's the 6050 by New Look. I have done a sew along for it. I think I've got that number right. I need to get the pattern out actually, because I'm obviously going to need to tweak or retrace. It should be in followers. There we go. Was I right? 6080. I was close. I was not correct, but I was close. Yeah, I've done a sew along for this one. And it's an unlined jacket, but I've lined it because it's me. So, yeah. Let's see. Linda says, Darshna says to Linda, any great fabric shops towards Wales side? I need to pit stop on my way back home from near Rhyl. Catherine says to Darshna, there is Abercairns outside of Holywell. Christine says, Darshna, there is Abercairn at Mostyn. Linda says, jacket is gorgeous. Teresa says, cute jacket. Did you say what pattern it is? Love it. New look 6080, and there is a sew along for it on the channel. Grace says that Celeste dress would look stunning in the D&G Passion Flower silk. Yes. So I am, like I say, intending to do the Sicily slip dress because I've bought it. I've had it printed. The Patreon peeps have voted for it. I have 2 fabrics ready to go to trial run it to be wearable muslin, and they are drapey like that silk. So I want to see how that one comes out. I also like the fact that they've got like thicker strap option rather than the spaghetti straps, because I do tend to wear bras with thicker straps and I don't want to not wear a bra, as we know. But I do like that Celeste pattern, but it could just be because they've like done the drawing the way that they have. So yeah. Rotten says, I prefer dainty print, but the poppy flowers are enormous. The options for brooch is a good thing. Yeah, I thought the options for the brooch was a good thing, and the poppy print sounds amazing. Darshna says, thanks, Catherine and to Linda. Do either of you know if they have knit interfacing and different elastics? Grace says, potential date plus fabric shopping sounds like a good plan. If it goes well, celebrate with fabric. If it doesn't, console with fabric. Win-win situation. Exactly. Like I say, the town that's close is like a nice town to go in. So, yeah. Christine says they have everything eek. Darshan says was looking at Abercairn but had a bad experience with their online. And Sue says Abercairn, lol. Catherine says that pattern is out of print. The 6080, yeah, it's an old one, I'm sorry, but you can find them on eBay and Etsy and sometimes Amazon. Rotten Ralph says, I have almost 5.5 meters. I'm becoming self-centered now. Christine says, always shop in person. I need to touch. Catherine says, I've not been to Abercairn in 20 years. Used to work a mile from them. Definitely somewhere you need to go in person. And Christine says, yes, they are, Catherine. I live 15 minutes from their Bolton branch. Right, so I've got this out. So Mum's been making curtains in here, so she's made a mess again. Oh my gosh, I completely forgot. I've got Patreon peeps to say hi to. Because somebody's just joined. Joanna has just joined. Sorry. Stephanie has joined the Patreon peeps. Thank you. Rachel has rejoined the Patreon peeps. Thank you. Karen Wardell has joined. Thank you. Casey has joined. Thank you very much. And Vicky Colquitt has joined as well. And I am supposed to do that at the beginning of the Hangouts. So I'm going to leave these here. Add the new one because Joanne or Joanna? Oh, it popped up. Joanna has just joined as well. So I will remember to actually do it first thing next Hangout, because that is meant to be what I'm doing and I keep forgetting. So yes. Right, yeah, like Mum's been down here making curtains because Big Bird's coming to stay next week. She arrives next Saturday. I think she's leaving early on Sunday, so I don't know if you guys are going to get to see her during the Hangout, but she might be here for a little bit to say hi. we might do a hangout during the week or something if she's up for it. Because I know you guys like a bit of Big Bird. But yeah, so she's going to be sleeping in the office, which just is off the front room. But there's glass doors. So I sort of said to Mum and Dad, I was just like, oh, should we, perhaps maybe put some curtains up? Thinking of the ones that used to be in the kitchen in Idle Rocks. And we left those ones in Idle Rocks, and I'd completely forgotten that we'd left them. I thought we brought them with us because they would have been perfect. So Mum's been digging through her stash of fabrics and stuff that she's bought out in Saudi, and she's found some amazing embroidered sheer silk that she's made some panels with, because it wasn't enough to completely make like pulling curtains, but it was enough to cover the glass inset panels in the doors. But she's just left all of like her fabric leavings all over the tidied up desk. Can't have that, so let's tidy those up. I need to find a home for these. I'll put them up there for now because I still need to try them on for the 12s. And I was going to put away these. Tidy up a little bit again. Darshan says, thanks, we'll definitely check them out. Rotten Ralph says, there's only quilting shops around here. All my shopping is online now. Darshan says, I need the things to do Tomcat Stitchery fitting course. Ah, interesting. Rotten Ralph says, I'm going to make myself some shifts for underneath everything. Perhaps I can start my D&D cosplay. Nice. Olivia says, yay, Big Bird. Exactly. Conchetta says, 6080 is on eBay and Amazon. I've only found pattern size A. Yeah, that's what I've got. I don't know if they do another bundle. I don't really know very much about New Look patterns, to be honest. Ellen says, why I have to cook today. I finally got Sojo back and want to finish my swimsuit, but I'm forced to the kitchen by my boys. How very dare they? Rotten Ralph says, Big Bird is a lovely guest. She is indeed. Linda says, sorry, not been in Cheshire for that long. Don't really know about Wales. Catherine says, Conchetta, yes, I only got, I've only found a small one too. Pattern 6 to 16 is nowhere near big enough. I'm usually around 18 in the shops in jackets. Do bear in mind that there is a fairly decent amount of ease in these patterns as well. Do bear that in mind. Let's see. Rotten Ralph says, mock-up corsets take up so little space. I know, it fits up there with my leather. Catherine says, my New Look patterns are often poor for size inclusivity. Yes. Maggie says, I want to the fabric market, but now with my new colour passport really gives new ideas for combinations and patterns to make for spring. So worthwhile to do my colours. You gave me the final push. Oh, awesome. Awesome. I'm so glad you enjoyed the experience. Right, let's tidy up a little bit more because I've got my the corset pattern one can stay out because I am going to need that again. But these ones can go away. Ah! I dropped me bee. That's better. Right, and now I'm going to have to try and dive into Narnia to put away coat and stuff patterns. My local cobbler will fix the boot, zip on my boot, which is awesome. So need to move that along, move this out so that I can get to all the patterns to put some away and also get some out. Right, dresses. Now, where did the dresses live? I have kind of got this organised, but not that well. I may be sometime. Talk amongst yourselves. Okay. That's all my patterns. That's knit patterns. The tops. What are you? Your dresses. Fine dresses though. What are you? Ah, there's one of Paul's dresses. Found it. Okay. I don't come down here very often at the moment, which is why I'm kind of struggling to remember where I've put everything. So now I need to find the coats. Coats. Here we go. Coats. Okay, and then I want to get out that one. The Boylston bra pattern, and then the the new look 6080. See if I can find that. There it is. Then I need the Grace dress. Grace dress. Ah! I fell over. Grace dress. And I need full circle skirt. There we go. Okay. Full circle skirt, Grace dress, jacket, Boylston bra. So put this back. Yeah. Oh, okay. That was a serious head rush. Serious head rush. Wait. Moving things around. Because these two I need to take back up to the main house. Because I'm going to keep those. I tried them on and I decided I liked them. I like all of those. They ought to go back up to the main house and go in my too big box because they are all too big for me. And you never know, in the future I may get up to being that big again. So they need to go back up to the main house. We're into muslin fodder. Is that Mum's or mine? That's Mum's, I think. Muslins. I think I'm going to have to completely start that McCall's jacket from scratch, but we'll see. I think that's Mum's. And then those I'm going to turn into skirts. I need to finish this and send it to my best friend because I'm not going to wear it. But this is nearly been hanging here for a year, waiting to be hemmed. And I have not done that. That needs to be hung up. That's going to be altered. That's stuff I'm going to be working on. This I need to keep down for reference to alter the pattern. This is for the Star Trek dress video. I still think I can make this work. I think the cotton sateen was the incorrect fabric for that. That is a bodice that I need to. Do you know what? I am not going to finish that. I'm not going to repurchase this fabric. I am going to not try and torture myself with that again. So that's good. Just a little bit neater. Let's turn that back. And then put a pile of stuff to be taken up to the house. Curtain fabric will go there. We are sort of getting a bit tidy again. Right. So, need to get this one out. I think what I'm going to do with this one is cut out the lining and then try and like be strategic about these giant roses on the front, because this has darts here and then side panels. So I'm going to have to be strategic about, because there's bits here that I could get a side panel out of. So yeah, I'm going to be strategic about where the print goes on this one. And I've got 5 meters of this, so I should have enough to do a full circle skirt and that little jacket to go with it as well. So those can go there. And then I've got the Boylston bra out. That can go with the corset, because that's going to go under there. Yeah, let's catch up with the chat, because I'm massively behind with the chat, aren't I? Let's see. Also, I'm out of breath now. So this is the problem. I'm fine if I sit down and don't do anything. But then I try and do stuff, I get exhausted really quickly. Excuse me, blowing my nose as well. Let's see. Where have we got to with the chest? Trying to find out where I got to. There we go. Rotten Ralph says, did anyone see Mariah Patty's new video up on making things that you will actually enjoy? I wanted to give her a hug. Yes, I was talking about that at the beginning of the hangout. Rotten Ralph also says, Shan has been eaten by her clothes. Yep. Yep, all the ones here that I've abandoned, they were like, nope, not having any of that. Shall eat. Sarah says new iron. The other one blew up, so this is the old iron from the main house. So we need to buy another iron. I think I'm going to go for a gravity feed one. I think. Rotten Ralph says it could be a new iron. Miki says really loved it. There were some surprises. No warm colours for me at all. They all make me look sick, but very cool and muted, beautiful colours. Easier to steer away from bad choices. Are you a summer by any chance? Then are you a summer palette? What were you diagnosed as? Rotten Ralph says Miki to Miki. Finding out your colour palette is very helpful. Rotten Ralph says I need to get my colours redone. Elena says please be careful. Did I nearly drop something on my head? Hayley says, I think this is the first time that I've been able to catch a live hangout, working on a self-drafted wool jacket inspired by the Closet Historian. Nice. Nice. And welcome. Thank you for joining us. Rotten Ralph says, it's been since the 1990s by a family friend. Darshana says, shoot, are you okay? Oh, that's when I felt, yeah, no, I was good. I was good. I had fabric to fall into. I was fine. Maggie says, Rotten Ralph, must say I have wanted to do it for a long time. I'm already noticing the difference. Olivia says, Rotten Ralph, yes, and me too. Miki says, Rotten Ralph says to Miki, I'm happy for you. And to Olivia, professional assistance is useful. The lady that does mine, she is doing it online now. They've worked out a way of being able to do it online. If you are interested in an online consultation all about the outfit, Nicola, she is going to come and do a styling video with me. It's my fault I haven't reorganized the time. So I need to contact her and talk about that again. But yes. Gig Racer says, I'm seriously contemplating pulling apart one of my best fitting bras, the underwire snapped, and reverse engineering it into a pattern. They stopped making it. I was gutted. Do you know what? I have my previous one of this, which is exactly the same size as this one, and I'm considering doing that as well, because I did get an amazing email from Amy when I mentioned that I wanted to do bras, and she was just like, given the size of your boobies, the bras that you've picked might not necessarily be the best for you because they're kind of like not have enough projection in them, and I've suddenly got the fear again. So yeah, I'm contemplating picking apart one of my, because I bought new ones of this in both black and cream, because my previous ones I've literally worn them to death. I've used the elastics. This one is on the widest hook at the moment, but my previous ones, the elastics have stretched so much over time that I'm on the smallest hook and they're still too big. So I would obviously need to tweak the pattern slightly, but I'm definitely thinking about that too. Rotten Ralph says, I need to trace patterns on my dining table. And she also says to Gig Racer, that's awful that they've stopped making the bras. Gig Racer says, wait, the spotted dress has been there nearly a year already. How fast did that go by? I know, right? I know. I mean, I think it was sort of summer, and I love the style. I just don't, I think I'm going to need to retrace that one as well. I think it's going to be too big for me. But again, it was one of the ones that I loved the image, and then found fabrics are so similar to the Rixo dress, and it was just like, I could do that. And then it's like, no, this is not my dream dress. It's my friend's dream dress. So I'm going to send it to her. It's probably going to be too big in the boobies, but I'm going to send it to her, get her to pin it on. And then, although I am supposed to be going to visit her for her birthday present at some point, she did say she's going to let me know when that is. I think it's going to be when her boyf moves out into his new place, so that we can have a proper girly weekend. Not that I'm not invited if he's there. It's just, you know, it'll be more comfortable because I'll get to sleep in a bed, proper bed. She doesn't have a guest bed, like a proper guest bed. She has a mattress on the floor. Got something in my eye. That's better. Yeah. So I could take it. My point was that is I could take it, put it on her, fit it to her, and then bring it back, alter it, and then give it back to her. I've got an entire giant bag full of clothes for her as well. Olivia says, just watched on YouTube a British show called Murder in Suburbia, and the blonde DI had her colours done with everyone thought there was something wrong with her because she didn't look right. Rotten Ralph says, we're tidying. Yes, we are. Tidying is therapeutic. Olivia says it actually was noticeable and not in a good way. Ooh, interesting. Rotten Ralph says to Olivia, if they messed up her colours, it's possible. Diana says, time to go pick up my youngest from birthday party. See you next week. Enjoy. And yes, she'll see you next week. Rotten Ralph says, no blooming breasts. Olivia, yes, no, we don't want roses. No rose boobs. That would be bad, wouldn't it? Olivia says, I think it was meant to be a joke. Olivia, Gig Racer says, Olivia, oh dear, that sounds like an opposite of what should happen. Right, guess if you wanted to convince your boss you're sick, that might be a way to do it. Lol, yes, constantly dressing in colours that were making you look ill. Olivia says, I miss the joke a lot. It's an autistic thing. Rachel then says, good morning. Good morning. Sweet, so sweet. Samuel says, good afternoon, Shan. I finally found time to catch up with you. I love your dress. What pattern is it, please? Gorgeous print as well. It is the Kittenish Behaviour Grace dress. It is not available to purchase. I'm sorry. I think the By Hand London Kim is a very similar neckline, though. There's also a La Carla, which I think is 4131, which is similar. Yes. Becky says, I was diagnosed a very cool, soft, muted summer, but with no warm undertones at all. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Oh, I've got a dress over there that would look great for you then, because apparently it's a summer print. My very first 75 37. I'm really surprised actually that I ended up making more of these. Yeah, this one. This is apparently a very summer colour. So this one's up for grabs if you want it. But yeah, given that I made that one in that colour, I'm surprised I made as many more of them as I did. But when I made it in a colour that was better for me, it was one of those ones that was just like, ooh, this is good. Really need to take these boots to get them fixed because they're just falling over now. Poor boots. Poor boots. This print is a Michael Miller Bed of Roses, by the way, as well. Sorry, you did say you like the print too. Rottenrow says, as long as I don't wear makeup, I look ill. Pasty white. Yeah, I'm kind of lucky that my skin looks the way it does because, as you guys know, I'm allergic to makeup, so yeah, have it all tattooed on instead. Linda says, does anyone know where I could purchase jersey fabric with lemons on, please? No, not that I can think of off the top of my head. But if you find some, let us know in the Peeps group because I might need some for a dress. G. Gracer says, I have the same issue with cup size and shape with many patterns, the joys of a larger bust. Yes. Jojo says, quick, everyone take a shot. Did I grab my boobs again? I'm so sorry. Gig Racer says there's not enough alcohol. Ralph says, Gig Racer, I feel you with my 34F cups. I don't do shots. It's not fun for me. Aaron says, this week I cleaned out my sewing room, sorted my fabric stash, tossed out all of the too small scraps, and now I need to buy more fabric. Yes, yes, you do, as a reward for the goodness. Elena says, what cake should I do for tomorrow for myself? Chocolate in a heart shape. Gig Racer says, Jacob's here. My friends find shopping hilarious. If it fits over her head and down to her nose, she says it should fit. If the cup fits over her, yeah. Aaron says lemon cake. Oh yeah, lemon cake, but no chocolate. Una says, wow, I've only gone through my dresses. I've put 2 scraps. We'll sell one, send one to charity, and I've so many alterations to do, but time for lunch. I'll take a few moments though to post my beret and 2 tops I made over Easter in the group. Keep forgetting. Oh yeah, we want to see. Rotten Ralph says, I'm contemplating getting baseball hats and strapping them on. I'm going to make a breastplate for my cosplay. Nice. Una says, oh, wow, well done, Aaron. That's a lot. And Ralph says that learning to work with Warbler, that's very cool. I want to do that. I want to learn to work with Warbler and EVA foam. I want to do all the things. I want to do all of the things. Makey says that dress is never going to fit. But also colours too bright for me, probably. Thanks for thinking of me, though. It's just that Nicola said that was a summer colours dress, so immediately you thought, but no. Yes. I really like it. It's a really pretty print. I've got it in like a cream, which I do wear, but yeah, pretty print. Rachel Lynn says, if anyone is looking to do reductions, I went from a 34J to a 34D. It's glorious. And Gig Racer is laughing at Rotten Ralph. And Elena says, chocolate sounds good and heart will work nicely as birthday. Yes. Rotten Ralph says, I have a friend who has a bar trick guaranteed to keep her in drinks all night. Her bra cups are larger than most people's heads. Aaron says, new project is duct tape dress form. Wish me luck. Oh, you can do it. Gig Racer says to Rachel Lynn, I have definitely considered it for the booby reductions. Yeah, no, I went the opposite direction. It's like, I want more. Give me more. Yeah, so guys, it's been 2 hours and 20 minutes. And I mean, I have done some prep. I have the patterns out and ready to go. Oh, dear. Yeah, I mean, is anyone surprised that no sewing happened? Like, no, none of us are surprised. Not one of us. So, yeah. Rockmouse says, Aaron, you don't need luck. I'm sending you perseverance. Yeah, you can do it. You can do it. Right. I do feel a lot better, despite still being sniffly and exhausted by just doing that little bit of tidying that I've just done. I do feel a lot better, so that is awesome. Fingers crossed, that means that there will be videos this week. Thank you so much for putting up with the channel being as kind of like erratic and sporadic as it is at the moment. It is not my intention. It is not doing my bank balance any good whatsoever. I really do need to get back on top of like filming proper videos and stuff like that. So I should be doing that this week. That is the plan. That is the plan. So yeah, thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for just chatting with me and letting me chill, because that's been very nice. I have no idea what actually is next week. Okay, so yeah, I've got 2 weeks before the retreat. Okay, it's doable. So yeah, there should be a couple of videos next weekend and a couple of videos the weekend after, and then I'm going to need to prep something for the weekend of the retreat so that something can go up then, as well as the retreat waffle, because I'm going to put that out as well. Yeah. We can do this. We can do this. So, thank you for hanging out with me. I will see you during the week, and fingers crossed that actual videos will happen. We shall see. But it's been very, very fun. So yes, thank you, and I'll see you all very soon. Bye.